Magic Drum, written by Krishnan Sundaram, with illustrations by Campbell. Once long ago, in the Razzling Mountains, lived a young boy named Faya. He lived with his family in a small brownstone house surrounded by trees. Faya's birthday was coming up, and he really wanted a drum. His parents thought it would be too loud to play a drum in the house. Faya promised to play softly or play it outside. "We'll see," said Faya's parents. A week passed, and it was finally the night before his birthday. That night after dinner, Faya played rhythms on his pillow. "This is what I will play on my drum," he thought. Faya fell asleep, but soon woke up to the sound of a drum. He jumped out of bed and looked around, but there was no drum and no one else awake. Faya rubbed his eyes and scratched his head in wonder. He heard a drum 3 more times that night. Each time he got up to check, he found nothing. The house was dark and silent. When Faya woke up in the morning, he was very tired. He forgot it was his birthday. When he came out of his room, his favorite breakfast was on the table. "Pancakes and bananas! Pancakes and bananas! Maple syrup!" he shouted. After the family ate, they sang, "Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Faya! Happy birthday to you!" His father asked Faya to close his eyes for 10 seconds. When he opened them, his mother was holding a stunning wooden drum. Faya lost his breath for a second when he first saw it. The drum was beautiful. The drum was a beautiful dark brown with red ropes and had dazzling carvings engraved all around it. "Yay, thank you," he shouted as the whole family smiled and clapped. "I knew it! I heard it last night," Faya said with glee. "That's impossible. It was only delivered this morning," his father answered. "You must have been dreaming." Faya scratched his head, but accepted the explanation as it made sense. He started to play the rhythm on his new drum. The drum sounded exactly like the one in his dream. Faya played his drum for the rest of the day. He played the same rhythm over and over. "What is that you keep playing?" his mother asked. "I don't know. I heard it in my dream last night," Faya replied. He tried teaching the rhythm to his family. They all took turns one by one. As hard as they tried, no one else could play it exactly the way Faya played it. "We don't know how you do it, Faya," Mother said as she smiled in frustration. It seemed Faya was a natural. After dinner, feeling tired after a long day of drumming, the family went to sleep. Just before midnight, the drumming sounded again. But Faya wasn't playing it. He opened his eyes and saw the drum sitting in the corner of his room. "I must be dreaming again," he thought. Faya heard the drum play 3 more times that night. He didn't get up to check. He assumed it was just his imagination. The next morning, his father asked why he played the drum all night. "It wasn't me," he explained defensively, "but I heard it too." "How is it possible?" asked the father. "A drum can't play itself." "Maybe it's a magic drum," answered Faya. "There is no such thing as magic," Father replied patiently. "Then I will name my drum Majek." That night the family went to bed a little confused. It was not normal for Faya to lie or make things up. The drumming was heard again 3 times that night. And again the next night, and for the next 7 nights. Every morning his family would ask Faya not to play his drum at night. Faya would always say he didn't play, but that he heard it also. Finally his father said that the drum must stay in the garage at night. That made Faya sad, as he liked to keep it in his room. That night it was very cold and windy. The trees made swooshing sounds and whistled through cracks in the windows. Faya was worried about Majek in the garage. The next morning when Faya woke up, his mother was crying. "What's wrong?" asked Faya. "The pipes are frozen. We have no water," replied Mother. She pointed at the window. Faya saw his father outside. He was trying to break the ice on the well. He tried using a hammer, but the hammer was too small. He tried using an axe, but that didn't work. He tried using a shovel, and the shovel broke in half. The ice was just too thick. Faya went outside and asked if he could help. "I don't know how you can," replied Father. "I've tried everything," he said exhaustedly. "Maybe Majek can help," suggested Faya. "How can a drum break the ice? The drum will probably break just like the shovel," Father shouted in frustration. Faya ran to the garage and got his drum anyway. He began to play his rhythm on top of the well. Suddenly, the ice began to crack. Father looked up in excitement. "Keep going," he yelled hopefully. Faya continued to play. The ice continued to break apart. It was the sound vibrations coming from the bottom of the drum that broke the ice. After a few minutes, the ice in the well turned into water again. There were just a few small ice cubes floating on the top. Mother came running out of the house. "It's flowing! The water is flowing!" "How did you do it?" she asked with a joyous smile. "Faya did it with drum magic," Father answered proudly. The whole family ran to Faya. They surrounded him with a big warm hug. They all rubbed the top of the drum with appreciation. They began to sing. Sing that part? Thank you, Magic. From then on, Majek was allowed to stay in the house. The family still heard the drumming every night. But instead of keeping them awake, it was their lullaby. They could now sleep peacefully knowing that Majek would keep them safe. The end.